Alright fellas, the question I see all the time remains unanswered. What is the best army possible in Bannerlord? Is it a horde of cons guards, swarming with hit-and-run tactics, or a mix of Fian Champs and Imperial Elite Cataphract, sweeping everything in front of them aside? Is it masses of elite palace guards and Valandian sharpshooters, or some kind of mix of the best troops in the game? In this series, we'll look to explore and answer that question, as I put my 10,000 hours of Bannerlord to the test with 400 elite mixed units comprised of what I consider the best possible 400-man army in the game. We'll take on a variety of different challenges and, amplified by mods, enormous legions of the enemy to try and demonstrate the awesome power of the perfect Bannerlord army. Three separate armies here. Oh shit, now there's 4 armies here. This is amazing. 5 armies. Wow, how many are there? 40. This is just shy of 10,000, like 9,500 or something like that. Let's start an episode. This looks amazing. Welcome back again, friends, to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. I'm fumbling over my words because we have a beautiful situation at a perfect opportune moment. You fans of Bannerlord, experienced players, will look at our health bar here, and you know what's up. The little green health bar there. Hugh the Hammer is looking at his last battle here, probably. We are going to wrap up this 400 series in style, right? Just like his father Wazoo here, Hugh the Hammer, or if you prefer, Wazooban here with a different alter ego, and his brothers, and an elite army of 400 plus troops. And we are going to engage in what I hope is a dynamic final stand here. We're going to recruit every single prisoner because before I started recording, or at least the intro here, look at what we happened on. We happened on 5 huge armies here. Southern Empire, Northern Empire, and there's actually Khazate sieging to the north. We have an allied army nearby, and why is that exciting? Because the reinforcement mod is activated. Conceivably, all of these armies might fight in this battle, including our allies. There's a couple small armies here, 2, 3. It looks like maybe there's 1,200 allied armies here as well. And then we have this Southern Empire force that's imminently going to engage us. A very polite English gentleman here from the Southern Empire, Eutropios, with a very stupid sounding name. He's got a lot of horse archers too, which means actually he's got some Karakhergit. So that means he's going to have some nasty horse archers. Interesting. And Jawal, right? So there's going to be camels. This rates to be a really interesting battle. And it'll be curious to see how the reinforcement system affects this battle. And what a great landscape for this battle here. This has all kinds of tactical opportunities. As a tactician, I've got a little bit of a Woody, right? You guys can forgive me a little bit of that, right? This is an amazing situation. We've been fiddling around with this reinforcement system, but this, I think, is the first episode of this 400 series where we're going to give it a shot. And what a moment for it here, right? 5, maybe 6, 7 armies are going to join. Now let's talk about the units. The 4th Corps I get by selecting shields there, right? We're going to have that on that left bank. They look like they have horse archers. That's a huge block of horse archers on the left, cavalry in the front, and then I see infantry as well. We have the battle size mod, so they're going to have a huge amount of troops. Let's see. How are we going to do this? Hugh the Hammer's in charge of the 8th, and so she's got, look at this. She's got decreased taken ranged attack damage. Let's have her be a decoy for those horse archers. We can put her over here on the left in a shield wall and sort of try to protect our left flank here. These archers are going to get backdoored otherwise. Let's put her and her decreased taken ranged attack damage right there. And I think Hugh the Hammer with his cavalrymen here with the 1st Infantry can sort of hold the center, right? The infantry, 1st Infantry in a square, a bunch of legionary. This is, again, part of this perfect Bannerlord army series, and what an opportunity here, right? Hugh the Hammer with his disgusting list of perks, decreased taken melee attack damage, right? So he's going to have incredible basically survivability in that 8th Corps. Now I need to reshape the 5th here and get rid of the infantry. I just want a gigantic 5th Corps full of cons guards and master archers and stuff like that. Just holding the bank here, and look at that, right, with their golden helmet. That's gonna, those guys are gonna lay waste to anybody approaching us. we're going to have to be careful with ammo here, right? Now, we don't want to do a little bit of a shield and shock over here, right? The 6th Corps has more shields than the 3rd Corps. 3rd Corps, there's some shock troops, so we'll put those guys in lines like that. And then the horse archers kind of off to the right. I think we'll have them intercept and or swing behind the enemy's infantry. I'm a little bit overexcited right now. I'm actually a little jittery. Unfortunately, I think I'm over-caffeinated, but we'll see what we can do here. Hopefully, I don't talk you to death, and hopefully I'm not so over-caffeinated that I can't focus or swing my glaive, because there's a lot of killing to do here, right? That looks good. That 2nd Corps just kind of holding that ridge, and I hope they eat 10,000 arrows, which don't hit our archers, right? We got these crossbow here. They can get off a round or two before those horse archers get around the corner. And here come the cavalry hordes, right? It's a huge line, and of course, it's all elite cavalry. We are still running the StrengthenAI mod, so these enemy forces are going to be savage, at least the initial wave, right? Now, I don't know how many armies are going to join, right? There's a nebulous nature to this. It could be 3,000. We could be up against 3,000 or almost 10,000. So there's, you know, some excitement, some suspense, and this is probably the last time you're ever going to see that power bar. I've been doing this for suspense in this series. Goodbye, power bar. We're going to increase your suspense a little bit more as we engage in just one of the most epic potential battles I've ever been a part of. I hope these other armies join, right? I don't want them to not join. We got fucking Vanguard Ferris everywhere. There's Khans Guards. There's all kinds of arrows flying everywhere. And what a position we have here, man. I am fucking thrilled. Light it up, boys. That 2nd Division is down there, or 8th Division is getting pounded on. And over here, I just want these guys sort of occupied, these horse archers. So let's put these guys in a square right behind our archers, kind of blocking them and preventing those horse archers from shredding our troops behind us. Now I'm just going to go along the line here and just cut off heads as we just sever this first wave, right? We are devastating it. I'm glancing at that right with the peripheral vision, and it's just fizzing green, and occasional death, but the enemy's being mass liquidated here. Now their infantry is here. We're going to have to concentrate fire. Let's get horse archers behind them. 2 infantry divisions are charging, and then of course I'm going to get myself busy as well here. But look at those. Those are all Khans Guards. Of course, our army is stacked. We've talked about it throughout this whole series, and they're trying to reform right into the teeth of our Khans Guards. Talk about good timing there. Let's get all these infantrymen just pushing in here. Let's press them in case they try to fall back. That way we're just all over them. Their cavalry's getting butchered. Now, I don't see a lot of death from their horse archers. Again, I'm keeping an eye there. I think that 2nd Corps, oh shit, they just got a huge amount of reinforcements right here. Scratch everything I just said. We might have to pull back over this ridge here. 1, 2, 3. Let's see how we do this here. Let's just reset to the shore first. Sometimes you do a partial reset, and then if it looks really bad, you're going to continue all the way. I'm keeping the top of that hill as an escape pattern, right? If this starts getting too ugly and too many forces pouring in on us, I want to be able to back off. There's a bit of a peak of a ridge up there. We could definitely hold that against a lot of forces. But what a devastating first wave. In fact, let's do this. Most of the guys are here, I think. Let's pull everybody back except the 8th Corps. The 8th Corps, we're going to leave in a shield wall there, right? You guys hold the line, and we're going to just start setting up our forces right here. That was a great first exchange. I feel great about that. And like a guy who won 20 hands in a row at the casino, I'm getting up and leaving. Right? When you get a win like that, consolidate your gains. All right, let's put cav lines on our left flank here to protect us from these horse archers. They still have a lot of horse archers. It seems like all those minor clans, seem to have a lot of horse archers. Of course, the StrengthenAI mod, they're getting tons of mercenary troops. All right, beautiful, right? The enemy actually peeled back for reinforcements, so more good timing. And then we've got some insane ex-wives. These are remnants of that Aserai peasants revolt. Look at this. These are literally women in dresses. If you want to know more about it, you'll have to check our channel for the Aserai peasant revolt. We actually won battles with these women in their dresses. They've got good combat skills, believe it or not. That was a fun series, but eventually all things come to an end. All right, let's hold this line here and just see what happens, right? I don't know what kind of attack the enemy's going to present here. Probably horse archers on our flank, but I feel protected there. We've got our horse archers behind us. That looks good. And I'm conserving ammo here. I just don't know if we're up against 5,000, 4,000, right? It's always a good idea to conserve ammo. There's nothing to shoot. But here especially, I'm mindful of it. I haven't seen anything that says, you know, so-and-so is joining the battle. If you're not familiar with the reinforcement system, basically armies that are near the battle before it starts can join after the battle starts. It's a wild mod. It's one of the best mods I've ever encountered. It doesn't always work perfectly, but most of the time it works well. And the distance that they are away from your army affects how long it takes them to join the battle. Now they're sending in kind of a pitiful wave here of Vigla recruits. These guys are never going to be recruits again. Those guys aren't joining the army. They're all massacred. The arrows are still flying. They are sending cav and horse archers to our flank here, but look at that position. Man, we just have this ridge covered as beautifully as you can. Let's charge at these infantry divisions, right? Let's just mop up all these weak troops that are up here, kill these camel boys. My health is still in great shape, so I couldn't have asked for a much better start, although usually when I say that, I take an arrow or a javelin right in the teeth. Let's see if we can't avoid that and take off some arms here. You can have some too, bud. We like low-level troops, right? This looks like the back end of their army, and that's a good sign. Although, you know, I'm a little bit worried. I guess maybe the other armies won't join. If it's such a bad massacre, there's a chance that the other armies are like, I'm not joining that, even though they hugely outnumber us. We'll see here. I mean, we have throttled. Oh, here we go. Our enemies are bolstering. Leosio's army joined the battle as an enemy. All right, so they're coming. It's just a question of how many. And this is archers. Charge, hold fire. No hesitation here. You just immediately get your dick beaters, your gloves on these guys. When archers are near you, everybody charge, right? We have better archers, better infantry. Just smash your way through this, and Hugh the Hammer gets to earn his name here, right? This guy with his monstrously fast hammer. Guys just trucked everywhere. You can have some two Fian Champ. Oh, get up. That guy got smashed to pieces on the ground. I will probably slow-mo that later if I can remember it. And this enemy looks like they're falling back all the way to the enemy forces, to where their other forces are coming in now. I see some forces way off in the haze there, but they look like they're routing. And I've seen this a few times where an enemy reinforcement will join and then they will rout. And effectively what they're doing is sort of resetting. They're saying, we're not joining that battle. And what happens is after this battle, we'll see them in the campaign map right next to us, and combat will be inevitable. So I don't know how this is going to go. Let's just hold the line of the river here. It was good to us the first time, right? When something's working, don't change it. We can exchange a little bit of arrows here so we don't suffer casualties at the end. I feel like my caffeine didn't betray me. I just saw a cavalryman with 57 arrows in his shield, and they're cheering. We fucking won this battle. And I'm happy, but I'm also a little bit disappointed. I was hoping for a monstrous clash of thousands of enemy forces, and instead we get a complete ass-whipping that we'll still share for the channel. However, don't go anywhere. There's a chance that army, Northern Empire Army or whatever it was, is basically right next to us when we exit this battle screen, and there'll be a second battle after this. And there could be, could be a big battle. So as they say on TV, right? Don't go anywhere. We're about to exit out of this. I'm just kind of glancing over. We did have our ally join, so they'll be right next to us too. What happens is the reinforcement system, all these units basically get drawn to you like a magnet. Picture like when you see a fight in the campaign map, and this is for those who don't know how it works. You know how you can run over and just join the battle? Well, this allows the enemy and the allies to do that. It's a great concept. It doesn't always work perfect, but man, is it one of the best mods I've encountered for Bannerlord. Let's see if we get any loot. We do indeed get some good loot, but nothing elite, right? You're always hoping for a master-crafted, just redundant words and stuff like that. And we'll see here. This is what's more exciting, and they are. They're right next door here, 2,800, and the other forces are still there, so let's see what happens here. Looks like they're already fighting. Man, I gotta sit up in my chair for this shit. Here we go again. In fact, let's get a little sip of caffeine. Maybe that's a bad idea. I took a few prisoners there. You guys will have to forgive me. I was gonna give those to my other minor clans here, but our other nobles here, but we'll take it, right? This is not strictly one of the 400 series, but it is sort of the perfect Bannerlord army, in so much as we still have what I consider a virtually perfect battlefield makeup. Now, this is a very melee-heavy army. Lots of cavalry. I think that said 1,300. Well, you'll have to look at that if you want to pause and go back. I'm too excited thinking about the possibilities here. Oh, shit. It's tossing us right in. And all I see is like 200 Fian Champs here. That's amazing. In this campaign, we've been feeding our campaign members troops, and it looks like we literally have 150, 200 cons guards, maybe, or not cons guards, Fian Champs, maybe more. We have a huge amount. I can't actually see. There's so many different troops here. We have an incredible sunset. Fans of the channel know I love the lighting that comes from this incredible time pass mod here. Let's do some tactics. Let's see if we can't have a huge brawl here. It's already big, right? 1,700 against whatever, 3,800. It's already a huge battle, and there's a chance that more armies join. In fact, it's likely. So strap yourself in, fellas. You may be about to see a monster battle here today. Catch my breath here with all the caffeine intake. My heart's already racing. I'm literally already pitted out and my hands are sweaty, and I'm tempted to like turn a fan on or something like that. My body's overheating. Guys say, man, you get into this shit. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just a lunatic or something like that. It's just a game, but I'm a highly competitive alpha male, and presented with a gnarly challenge like this, with such visceral elements as guys getting cut apart and shit, and battle, and guys trying to kill you, you should see me play dodgeball. I am an absolute menace. Not only do I have a cannon throwing arm and I catch everything, I'm bald, I'm mean looking, and I'm out for blood. Like, I'm just crushing guys and trying to hurt them and shit like that. Can't help it. I'm just ultra competitive. Now, I'm a nice guy, right? I'm still helping little old ladies at the grocery store, but you put me in a competitive situation like this, and you don't want to be on the other side. All right, now, unfortunately, they're sitting back. And that's not what I want to see. But we have so many archers, I'm just going to approach here. Let's see what they do. It looks like the shoes are basically flipped here. They're in the position that we were, kind of on top of that hill. It'd be funny if they study our tactics and then, try to implement them. Actually, now they're charging. They got a whole bunch of archers and infantry. Of course, they have tons of Fian Champs as well. This is going to be awesome. Love it too when the random soundtrack cranks perfect songs for battle, right? It's just this intense song. They have a huge throng of archers and infantry on that wall, and the light is gorgeous. I am in ecstasy. My wife is like, wait a minute, I thought last night was ecstasy, and I'm like, yeah, that was all right, it was solid. And so far, my hand-eye coordination, even though my hands feel shaky, isn't terrible, right? We're doing pretty well. Now, I've botched this. I have our cavalry or infantry archers moving up, also known as archers, and the enemy cavalry charged very brilliantly, but we had archer support. You can hear them just whacking the enemy, and fortunately, we didn't suffer too many losses as horses go flying. What else can happen in this battle? Maybe it's a full moon. We're going to try to take this ridge. You see how they're not poking their heads over yet? Let's blow the doors off of this ridge. It's a little bit of a peekaboo ridge. If we can establish it, if we can get our archers set up here, they won't be able to. Whoever basically has line of sight first has the edge. Let's put a contingency plan here, though, right? Let's have circling forces to go behind them. I've got two different cav divisions that are going to be highly mobile. The third will be defensive, right? The second and third, those guys are going to play walls, basically. But the 7th and 8th have horse archers, cons guards, probably. We will circle with them, right? Both to charge, but also to try to envelop the enemy. Now, I'm going to stick one cav division up the wall there, basically to menace the enemy, and the 2nd Corps defending our left flank. We've got like 4 infantry. They can hold the center. The 1st Corps hold the center, and they're like, we've got 4 guys, sir. Do it now. We're up against 5,000 troops, dude. Get in there. And look at this fucking Zerg. Now, fortunately, the AI hasn't acted terrifically here, right there, giving us the edge, although they have started to charge. That's a bit more ominous. Let's see what happens here. I don't think they're going to be able to beat us to line of sight, though. Half of our archers are already set up. In fact, I see them shooting already. We've got a cav division there chucking javelins over the walls, and I think we've got initiative here. Look at all those arrows just strafing them. Our cav line pre-positioned perfectly to handle these guys here perfectly, if I say so myself. I'm highly humble. Tell my wife that all the time, right? I'm a handsome, intelligent, athletic, very humble fella. Let's have these cavalry charge. Fucking banner knights and stuff like that in our backfield. I wish I had some infantry here. This is just the nature of it, right? I don't have any infantry. Sometimes that happens when all your troops are tier 5 and 6, right? I just don't have any. They died in that first battle, or at least they're laying in the infirmary. Their archers are penned up there. Holy shit, we've got them in a bind. Let's get horse archers and cavalry behind him here. They're trying to send infantry down a shield wall. They're fucked. Right? These guys are fucked. F-U-C-T, I like to say. They're getting pounded. We have a superior position on them. And now let's add to their misery, right? 7th and 8th Corps, let's drag them over here. The 3rd Corps is presenting a shield wall to the enemy. So those guys, eventually, we will pull them directly at the enemy and basically clamp them between these 3 different cav divisions. Now, a couple of these archer divisions, I want these guys to have a little bit of space in case they get charged by that infantry. The infantry is making their way across the river. And then they started to pull back. So that brief little kiting there might have stopped the infantry, their infantry from charging. They were getting shredded. They're right in the middle of the river right now. We need to move. Let's get these infantry divisions and archers all swiveled counterclockwise. We're basically going to move our troops from our left to our right and sort of form a backwards L shape here. The reason we're doing that is because it's going to coincide beautifully with our sweeping cavalry movement here. Come on, boys, get back. Let's get these guys out of harm's range. Get the fuck off me, this dipshit behind me. Need some of that. This glaive is so sick. Just cut his head off. Just casually. There goes your head, dude. All right, let's move these guys over here. Look at these archers on their flank. Savage. Now let's get these horse archers up this hill. The enemy does have a good position now for their archers, but that's about to change, right? They're shooting down from that ridge. Well, we've got 200 cavalry coming their way, 160. Yeah, it's almost 200. 7th and 8th start moving up here behind these rocks. If we can get these guys out of line of sight for the approach, then clamp the enemy on the other side with the 3rd Division in a shield wall, this is going to be savage. I got to be careful not to get shot to pieces here. I'm already at half health, although considering how long we've been fighting, that's not too bad, right? There's no rest between these battles. Come on, boys, hurry the fuck up. That 3rd Division is pressing. Oh, this is going to work beautifully, right? Horse archer division's behind him here. The enemy's totally unprepared. Have some of that. They have really good troops, right? And that's, again, StrengthenAI mod. It's almost like our army quality is about the same. All right, let's bring these boys in here, and we're going to totally change this archer versus archer dynamic. Right now, it's kind of a stalemate. They've got about the same amount of archers. Not for long. Here comes 250 cavalry. Khan's guards are now behind them. Look at their archers scrambling for safe ground. There isn't any. That's not the safe direction. They're going to get scorched. Kill these boys. Yeah, that's right. Die, dog. Chop them all down. Now, they're kind of scrambling all over the place, but we're just going to stick with them here. You just F1, F2, and then just follow the fucking weasel. All these little pink Botanian Fian Champs, a bunch of wussy Fian Champs. And their archers are in a state of disarray, right? They're running and scattering every which way. They're being shot. Khan's guards are mowing them down, and we need to, right? Because more forces just joined. Let's see. I can't see who joined. There's so much combat down there. I'm getting shot trying to look at it. Oh, shit! They just popped out of nowhere, it looks like. All of a sudden, there's tons of infantry. Let's kite hard to our right. Archers that direction. We can use the horse archers to kind of trample through here and break up their lines. That's kind of cheating, but we'll try to deal with it. Man, the enemy literally just, like they popped out of the ground. And of course, that can happen to the enemy too. But man, what a tough spot for us. Archers and infantry, let's triangulate them to our new position. We're going to start to hold this right side over here. That's where, the reason I'm doing that is that's where most of our archers are already. It's like our only escape hatch, right? The enemies seem to come out of the ground with like 500 or 600 troops. I came around that bend and it was just pink and purple as far as I could see. It looked like an angry LGBT parade. They were very angry. And I didn't say they couldn't get married. It wasn't like I have some kind of problem with them. There's a whole bunch of pink and purple units just pouring out of the ground here. It's like, you guys can get married. I don't give a fuck. You guys do what you want. Don't fucking pop out of the ground and kill my whole army. Come on, boys, hurry up. We're being pursued. We've got a good position, though, with this 5th and 6th Division. I'm going to keep pushing these guys back. Look how many Fian Champs. I think anytime you have 150, 200 Fian Champs, you got a good position. And we got a 2nd Division, that's reinforcement archers. The infantry can kind of charge here. It's better to have at least some troops sort of intercepting the enemy in a movement like this. Otherwise, the enemy is literally just hacking your guys down while your units you know, try to reposition. You want to have somebody basically menacing the enemy, so it takes away their free lunch, right? Otherwise, you see all these cavalry up here just spearing every single guy, all these infantrymen. If you're making a maneuver like this with no counter, man, the screen lights with red, and instead it's lighting with green, right? As we trample them with we trample them with horses, and our archers work. Come on, baby. I'm getting more and more nervous because so far so good. We have navigated this brutal battle about as well as I think we could. Let's get archers up on this ridge. This is a beautiful position here. We can have guys across the river there, basically in the water. It's hard for the enemy to close on them. There's a bit of a peekaboo ridge on our right side now. And we have a bowl here where we can do essentially a kill box. Just we're not going to be able to get troops behind them because their line is so big. And they got all kinds of cavalry in here. It's a beautiful scene. I'm looking down. Please keep recording. Every once in a while, I'll have a battle like this. One of the best battles I ever fought, the fucking recording device cut off halfway through it. I wanted to literally cry. I mean, I'm an adult fucking man, but I had some tears of agony on that one. So far, so good. We're suffering some losses here as we pull back, but you know, it's one of those things. It's like paying off credit card debt, right? This is initial pain, long-term gain, right? We're gonna make this up here. In fact, the screen started to turn green as our archers are working. Some of the death is our infantry, right? I told you we charged with them just to sort of keep them busy while we reposition troops. Now, unfortunately, our reinforcements are coming out kind of to our flank, our far left flank, so I'm going to have to kind of triangulate them behind us. And it's also bringing some of the enemy attention away from where I want it to be. I want the enemy to come right here, right to our pocket of death. We still must have 300 or 400 archers here. They've got tons of cavalry, but we can reduce them to glue real quick. My reflexes are doing all right, right? Sometimes caffeine is good, like most things, right? A good amount of it is usually good, too much, bad. Look at that. That's beautiful. All right. Let's go, boys. We're going to do a sweeping assault here on these troops that are coming in. I mean, we have a beautiful position. I'm actually surprised there's that much death, but we are outnumbered. And they're probably cutting down troops that are coming from the reinforcement spot. 1, 2, 3, 4. I still got half a health bar. The music is ramping up here. It feels fucking epic. I hope you guys are having a good time watching this shit because I am thrilled. I'm totally pitted out here. It's a little bit of a warm day where I live, and I am fucking adrenaline rush sweating here. Would not have a good poker face right now. You guys are like, oh, we want to see a picture of you and see your hands. No, you don't. I'm a fucking mess right now. My eyes are all fucking boggled and shit trying to see every spear before it gets to me. I don't think I'm doing that shit. You lose your narcissism with age. I don't give a fuck. Let's peel those guys around the corner there. I like that it's lower level troops, right? Oh shit, that was almost a spear in the face. Let's get out of there. Fucking spears coming up. They're low level though, right? Squires and stuff like that. And that means we might be at the end of this battle. I don't know, but you can't assume. The enemy seems never ending here. We're going to continue to position for the worst, but we might have just navigated this so beautifully. Now, there's infantry to the horizon. It looks like there's 2,000 infantry coming our way. But what a position we have, right? They are getting completely shredded. They're blocking a lot of arrows, but we can put horse archers on their flank over here that they can never reach. It'll probably attract attention, and they'll go over there and haplessly chase them. The 4th Division, I think. You guys are in my way. Get back over there. Shit. Mattis army joined as an enemy. So the armies are starting to join. Buckle up here, right? Okay, there's just a horde of troops in the valley approaching us here, and it does feel like a last stand. I don't think we're getting more reinforcements, or maybe if we do, it's going to be scrubs. So this is kind of what I figure we have to work with. The light is getting even more sensational. I mean, I couldn't have asked for better conditions here for a final stand. Now we just got to make no mistakes. So this division's almost out of ammo. What do you do with a bunch of, it's like 150, maybe 2/3 of them are Fian Champs. What do you do with them? Shock troops, right? We're going to get them behind an infantry line. At some point or other here, we will turn our wrath on the enemy. Right now, we're using our archers at range, consolidating our position. As long as the death spam looks like that and I hear archers, why would I charge? But we are going to run out of ammo. It seems like never-ending infantry coming our way. And these cons guards, or these Fian champs, behind the line of infantry and or heavy cavalry will be absolutely thunderously devastating. So that's, if you're wondering, sort of some long-term plans. Like a chess player, a Bannerlord battle, you're thinking 4 steps ahead, right? You've got to in a battle like this, otherwise you lose, right? Or you make, you know, and some of it's experience. I've learned from many battles that you've got to anticipate future moves here. Now, I like what I see here as far as the troops, although, of course, you guys probably want to see all Tier 6 charging us, right? All Tier 5 and 6, just an elite army. I can't control every detail. I think it's time to start positioning for basically a death counter charge here, right? We're gonna make a massive counter charge here, and it's gonna be something sort of reminiscent of Napoleon at some of his famous battles. We are going to prepare 4 or 5 separate units, sort of back on our right or our left flank here, and make a power charge. Right, we're going to have cavalry in front. I'm hustling this infantry over. They're getting kind of harangued on the way over. But if I can get 100, it's 138 infantry. If I can get those guys towards the front with their shields, and then Fian champs and whatever other units I can get to charge behind them, I think we can just blow everything on this map right the fuck off the screen. I actually wish they had a bunch of elite troops, because I think this is going to work no matter what they have. 2, 3. The 2nd division is just kind of a mess of archers and infantry, archers and cavalry. All right, the 6th division's in place. We got a lot of guys that are out of ammo. Some guys are still shooting, but man, there's an awful lot of archers standing there holding their sword up and down. 500 infantry, it says. All right, get over here, boys. Sit up for this shit. Come on, boys, hurry up. Let's get this 6th division over here. And I like it, you guys can't see the power bar. You have no idea, right? You don't know if the enemy vastly outnumbers us or vice versa, and neither do I. And actually, even if I look at the power bar, it doesn't tell us much, right? Because there are reinforcements joining. Although it says a caravan. The caravans aren't joining, they're smart. Now, I'm going to join our guys here because we're going to make just power thrust through the center. You get this cavalry division pushed over here. The 3rd can just charge with us. The enemy's highly broken up, which will make our charge even more effective, right? Because each guy is going to have like fucking 10 warriors pounding on them, including Fian champs. These poor Vigla recruits are about to experience some horrific shit here. Now, my cavalry are actually in the way here. I can't even hit these guys. But that's going to change soon, right? These cavalrymen leading the charge is just so devastating, because the enemy, all they see is heavy cavalry holding up their shields, and then the next thing they see behind them is angry troops and shock troops with Fian champs pulling up the rear, right? This 1st division is ready. It says 330 infantry, so we have a huge force here. It's time to make this press. You just fucking blow everything off the battlefield at this stage. Every single unit charging. Man, these poor fucking bastards that are here. I wish there was more troops, because it would be even more impactful. The enemy's going to be completely blown out here by this thing. The screen is just fizzing green as our troops trample everything in sight. I don't even have anything to kill. I thought those were troops way off in the distance, and it's like sagebrush. Now, a lot of troops are over here chasing after our reinforcements, but they insta-died too. And that might be it. I'm looking around. I don't see any enemy forces. Look at, I got one farmer with a pitchfork trying to come up here, and he got mauled. Sorry, dude. You should not have been here today. You don't want to be at Hugh the Hammer's graduation ceremony. You get annihilated. And what a way to finish out this series. In fact, the song kind of finishes with the end of this battle here, as troops chase off, chase troops off in the horizon here. We're almost out of ammo here. What do we got going on here? There's reinforcements coming in at the edge of the screen here, so let's have these guys just charge. Everybody's all organized at least. God, this is amazing. The soundtrack plays an ominous track, and I suddenly feel uncomfortable. I have no ammo. I need a horse. Sorry, dude, I made you get off your camel. That's one of our companions. You can get your camel back, dude. I see death spam. The problem is we have no arrows left, right? We've had such a long battle. We're just going to have to charge here, right? We are reduced a little bit to F1, F3. What do we got going on here? How many enemy forces are over here? You can't tell always. Oh shit, they have a bunch. They have archers. Oh shit, they literally just popped out of the side of the map. So you know what this is? These are the fucking armies that are joining the battle here. Who knows how many there are? Let's get all these forces rushed up here. Let's get some kind of a line reset here. That way our forces are reconcentrated at the edge of the ridge here. I don't really want to go rushing right over there. They only have 50 archers? I saw more than 50 when I went over. And unfortunately, you know how you hold down Alt to look at their units? It doesn't always work with the reinforcement mod, and I actually like that. There's a mystery to it. Like the system basically starts to bug out and it doesn't tell you. Now it says they have 100 archers. I bet that's not accurate. Oh shit, someone fucked that horse up, something fierce. We're gonna have to charge this shit. We've got one line of infantry just holding in a square there to see what they have. I've got naked guys running around here on our side. We're down to peasants. That guy looked like Guzid. Let's get everybody involved here. These horse archer, or these cons guards, I keep saying it, these Fian Champs are all out of ammo. We're just gonna have to charge here. In we go, and let's see what we're up against. They got a bunch of cavalry running around. They have elite units. How come you guys aren't charging? What the fuck division is that out there? Just everybody get in here. When you have no ammo, tactics really start to dwindle here. It's time for heavy blows. And they have a lot of troops in here. They have tons of archers. This is not 80 archers or something like that. There's a huge fucking glob of them. And they're tier 5. Fuck, get up here, boys. What is that division out there? Everybody charge. F1, F3. I need every single guy up here right now. They got fucking recruits, but they also have tier 5 sergeant, Imperial Sergeant, Fian Champs. Another ominous song plays on the soundtrack. Let's go, boys. Let's finish this battle. Oh, they're charging. They're roaring. They have fucking Fian Champs in droves of Fian Champs. That was like 50 Fian Champs. Fuck. They've got some lower level troops, but that was a lot of Fian Champs. And even though they have a bit of a peekaboo ridge here, we've got to charge. We've got to get cavalry to distract them, though. Otherwise, our guys are going to get shredded. And they're popping out of the ground there. It's sort of, you know, accidental or the nature of the reinforcement system. But we're basically charging the lines down here. I have no choice. Get up here, boys. Let's finish these guys off. God, our troops are pretty ragged and a lot of weak troops, and we're out of ammo. I see peasants running up. At least we have some Fian Champs left. They're probably really injured, though, and the death spam is very, very, very tenuous. Let's get in here, right? There's no time for caution, right? To quote Interstellar, no time for caution here. I want to hear that guy say, you know, prepare to have everybody charge. That's impossible. No, it's necessary. Everybody in there. 2, 3. We've got a little bit of cavalry to sort of keep them occupied, and the death spam turning good. I actually see companions still getting killed, or getting kills. How awesome is that? I've got almost no health, so at least we'll be able to take over a companion once we get dropped. And we're in just a death charge here. What an amazing finish to this battle. Everybody in. Fian Champs galore. Manavliatons. They're trying to scramble. We need to stay with these guys here. Fuck. One arrow to the face and I'll be down. Keep bobbing and weaving. Well, as soon as I said that, who do we got here? I think this is his sister. In we go. Let's rip some arms off. Most of the companions of Hugh the Hammer are pretty damn elite. 30, 35, level 35, some of them. And they are no shrinking daisies with their weapons, right? This gal's ripping people apart. I've got no health with her, but we might have other people even when she drops. And the screen just flushed green. Get in here. Let's mow all these weak-ass forces down. Come on, let's fucking finish this. Fian Champs are up here bellowing. It's chaos. The sound is sort of chaos and ominous. The music. They got a lot of cavalry running around spearing us. In situations like that where there's tons of cavalry, you're actually better off pulling everybody together into a square. It says they have 360 cavalry. Well, remember before the battle, one of these armies had 1,400 horses. So it's looks like horse meat's back on the menu, boys, right? We've got to do some serious veterinary job creation here, right? Let's get everybody into a square and just start mauling horses, right? Make sure they can't move at full speed. And we've got carnage at the end of this battle. I just see armored horses as far as the eye can see. In fact, now I see the dirt. Oh, this is amazing. This is like one of his cousins, one of Hugh the Hammer's cousins, right? Of course, Wazuban's cousin. I don't remember this guy's name. I think it's Ragged maybe, but this guy, he's got a savage pole arm. It's really long, but I think this will work because there's so many different troops kind of holding up the horses. He could just chop guys to pieces. Now, unfortunately, he too has like, I just looked down, he has like 1 hit point or something. But we're going to go out swinging here, right? This is wild. This is like a tour of Hugh the Hammer's family here at the end of this episode. And it's beautiful. There's horses dying everywhere. Our troops are bellowing. Fuck. Well, he got dropped. We keep getting characters with no health. This guy's got a little bit more, but he is a weak ass. I think this guy's an archer, and he's got no arrows, of course, right? You're just reduced to hacking with your little sword, and I don't think he's got good weapon skill. I don't even know who this is. But at least we're still playing, right? Thank goodness for the RTS mod. A lot of battles you're just reduced to watching at this stage. I don't know if we can win, but we're certainly going to hack and slash our way until we can't fucking move our mouse hand anymore, right? Until every guy's dead. I can't tell how many units we have, and I don't really want to look up. You guys could probably tell when I select the units, but I'm not going to look at the power bar, and I'm just not going to look, right? I'm just hoping. We could get reinforcements too, although at this stage, this battle's been going on so long, this is probably all we got. And I feel pretty inept here. I'm doing like 20 damage. Hey, that's a companion. I want that guy. Give me the same. Let's see, how do we do this? We go like this button, and then click him. Shit. Did we get it? All right, hey, we got him. This guy's got a good pole arm. What's the shortest one called? Fuck, I can't. A Volge, right? It's the really short pole arm, and he's deadly with it. He's going to be able to wreck shop here. I've got Fian Champs next to me. Let's chop all these guys down. All I see is cavalry as far as the eye can see. It seems like there's 500 cavalry here. He can't get on even a Midland Palfrey. This guy has no riding skill here, because if he could get on a horse, he'd be wrecking shit. Although he's kind of wrecking shit anyways. I mean, he is one-shotting dudes. I don't know if we have any other troops. It seems like there's like 5 guys here. There's 1 infantryman the enemy has. There's like 7 Fian Champs and me. I mean, there must be more, right? Because the enemy's running all over the place. In fact, I just got fucking stampeded. And look how many cavalry this is. This is ridiculous. I mean, we're fucked. It just dawned on me. It probably dawned on you. You cannot defeat, 2,000 elite heavy cavalry with 12 guys. But a fitting way to end this battle here, right? We're just going to swing here until we're killed. And what a battle. Man, we're still recording here. Sometimes the absolute best battles are the ones you lose, right? This guy can't get on any horse, of course. And indeed, this is a loss. Those troops over there are actually enemy foot troops. They look like they're bringing in more forces here. We get cut down. And or at least that guy was the last to go here. Are you fucking kidding me? What a fucking battle. I mean, I know you guys want to see us win every battle, but sometimes a glorious loss like this, especially at the end of the series, this is sort of a perfect way to end this 400 series. I mean, I couldn't have scripted it any better. My hands are fucking pouring sweat. I don't know if we could have done things better in that battle than we did. At the very end there, maybe I could have been a little bit more cutthroat, but we killed 5,000 troops, right? You can't complain about that. Our companions all did major work. Our own army killed over 2,000. And that was after fighting, 1,500 before this battle, right? So between the 2 battles, we killed 6,500. And certainly went out with a bang here in this 400 series. Now, I mentioned it, right? And I'll get to it in a second here after the battle. But this is going to be the last episode of this 400 series. I don't know what number it's going to be. I always do the after editing later. But we are toted off to prison. But that doesn't matter. I mentioned this at the beginning of the battle. And of course, experienced players know. You see that green over his heart? Like 2 days before this battle happened. And the timing, I was very lucky. I don't even care. Refuse. I was very lucky to find that battle because I got the message that said, you are at death's door, right? Hugh the Hammer, I don't know how old he is, but he's old enough to be dying here in the year 1117. Yeah, just throw me in a dungeon. We're going to have a nice little funeral. In fact, I'm going to change the music here. Hopefully I can edit this later on. If I do that right, hopefully you guys don't even notice me editing the music. and we're going to get toted off to prison. It's not really where you want to die, but we'll just go ahead and say that, you know, he got released by the enemy here and died, you know, surrounded by family or all the other bullshit they say when people die peacefully in their bed. It would have been nice to die in combat, but we'll take this as well. We'll call this, you know, his final resting place here. Now, usually it happens faster than this. I'm surprised. I'm kind of speeding this along, and there you go. Right, you get this somber scene here as Hugh the Hammer died of natural causes because the guy's unkillable. Certainly couldn't be killed in battle, right? This is Wazuban, of course, the original character. Well, not the original character, but the son of the original character from the amazing Aserai series finally passes away here. And this is just a side series, of course. Nobody get too excited, although it's just a video game. If you're getting too excited, get some Valium, something like that. And here I am just totally talking passionately about the game. Maybe I need some Valium. But this is great, actually. This is the perfect way to wrap up this series here. This series is dead, right? We're not going to do any more of the 400 series. Although never say never, right? If you guys just absolutely pound the table for more of it, you want to see certain scenarios, maybe we will do a different iteration. Maybe it'll be Baron York and company, right? Maybe it'll be Ryland and company from the Valandian campaign. Maybe it'll be a 400 series from the Japanese mod, right? The feudal mod Shokuho, right? We shall see. But in any case, it's been a great run. This 400 series, just like the 300 series, has been a lot of fun. We're going to wrap this up. There have been some great challenges. There hasn't been all wins and losses, right? Just like this, or it hasn't been all wins anyways, just like this battle. And I like that for the channel, right? The suspense that both you and I go through, it's almost like you guys are part of the army, right? You guys are commanding the left wing. I've got the right wing, and into battle we go. So, of course, we're going to have other battles on the channel, more tactical shit, some more hopefully great epic campaigns down the road. So you want to subscribe if you want to see that kind of stuff. Hit notifications. That way you know when episodes come out. Leave any comments, criticisms, and requests. And with all that said, friends, I will see you next time.